Welcome, friends.
Have you ever been afraid that changing too much might cost you your friendship, so you held yourself back? Understand that is inevitable. And what you want with that person for a long term friendship, which we know a little about,
Absolutely.
is that change is going to happen. And it's part of who you are and how you grow and how you want to grow together.
That's right. And sometimes refusing to change can actually silently damage a friendship because you're going to go through those stages in life. Change is inevitable, like you mentioned. As you move through life, both of your lives are going to change. And so you need to have the ability to change with that friendship so you don't get stuck in one place and it eventually can become a long-term friendship. And again, not all this is on one person, right? This is for each person in the friendship. They need to be able to know how to change
And maybe
grow with it.
Why are you not communicating these changes that are coming?
Right.
Is it something that, like I said, you're afraid of? Because fear is a big challenge when it comes to change.
Absolutely. Change absolutely invokes fear in people. But you don't want your friendships to start to strain because of that, right? And it's important because growth happens throughout our lives and throughout our friendships, right? Sometimes it's most often silent growth, silent change that happens as we go through the different life stages. But your friendship has to grow and change with those life stages. You can't start a 6-month or 1-year friendship and expect that to remain the same 3, 4, 5 years down the road.
Because you're not going to be the same.
Exactly.
You're not going to be the
That's
same
right.
person.
You're not going to be the
You
same
should be
person.
growing. You should always be growing.
Absolutely. Your friend is not going to be the same person. And so you need to be, in a lot of times, like we said, it's silent, right? So you need to be able to recognize these different things that are happening in your friendship and in each other's lives in order to evolve.
Right. And part of life changes are experiences, new responsibilities, stages, jobs, family, beliefs. I mean, all these things that can be very personal that you're not sure that you might be afraid to talk to your friend about because you know she probably feels differently than you do. But if you have that open line of communication,
Yes.
which always talk about is very important, then this is going to evolve with you. Because if it doesn't, that's kind of what can kill a friendship, basically.
And growth happens. It's not generally something that's talked about. We don't, list it out and say, well, this changed, that changed, right? Like growth and change naturally evolve, like you said, because life stages happen and friendships change along with that, hopefully. And so it's not something that you can list out and say, it's just something you kind of have to roll with, but you have to recognize it, that change is inevitable. Change is inevitable in your friendship. And
it creates confusion. When you don't express it, it's going to create confusion, which again can be a subtle sort of resentment, I guess.
it could be, or maybe a subtle hurt or, maybe not as much closeness in the friendship. It doesn't cause conflict, but it can cause confusion.
Right.
Right.
I think especially in today's world when we're so focused on social media and politics and all these things that people have such strong opinions on, that also is going to change you. And that really could inevitably make friendships complicated. But at the same time, it could be a way for each of you to grow, listening to each other, talking to each other, and wanting to say things that you're not really that comfortable saying.
Right.
Because you're afraid.
And you don't need permission to grow. No. As a person, you don't need permission to grow. Your friend doesn't need permission to grow. But as you're going through these life stages, to keep that friendship strong, you need to acknowledge these things, right? Acknowledge it, communicate about it, and just recognize it and roll with it.
Wanting things to stay the same is always about fear. That's not that's just not in friendships.
Absolutely.
That's in life in general. I have a quote that I always use that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Sometimes life has to bring you out of your comfort zone in order for you to grow. So sometimes if you're doing something uncomfortable, it's probably good. So if I'm talking to Lisa about something I feel uncomfortable about, okay, well, it's bringing me out of where I am because of fear. And fear can really hold a person back.
Yeah. And sometimes I think we resist it, right? Because if we see our friend growing or we're growing, right? And maybe we feel like if we grow too much or we change too much, you might get that feeling like, well, am I going to be left behind?
Right.
Am I, not understanding or knowing how to relate to this person anymore? Or, are we going to lose closeness over it?
Right.
And actually, you're probably not. If you can both handle change and grow your friendship through it, it's probably going to benefit your friendship in the long run. But again, change brings fear. A lot of people are afraid of change, but don't feel like if you or your friend are changing that you're going to be left behind. It's honestly one of the biggest benefits for a friendship is to be able to change and grow together. We've done it for 30 plus years, and believe me, we have changed.
Yeah, we have changed. And I think actively listening, like I've said in the past, we are not confrontational people, but there are some things that she feels very strongly about that I don't, and vice versa. But at the same time, we can listen to each other. We're not going to argue, so to speak. We might debate.
We do debate. We do.
But it's not in a way that's hurtful or judgmental.
Right. Exactly. So don't fear being left behind. Don't fear losing closeness, because if you're both growing together, that's going to be there. Yep. It's going to be there if it's a real solid friendship. And it honestly is just it's going to make it better in the long run. Right?
And if it is a solid friendship, you will grow together. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. And a lot of times, if you don't want the friendship to change, sometimes inside of yourself, you'll be like, well, if we change, then that means you're going to leave me. Right. And, that can be scary. That can be scary if you think you're going to lose a friend because certain things in your life are changing. But don't let that fear keep you stuck in one place.
Right.
Just don't let it.
And I think our fears of our life changes, like Lisa said, we've been friends for a long time. Me having children, getting married, my fear was always, okay, is this going to change our friendship?
Right.
And it did. But not for the bad.
Right.
Quite honestly.
Right.
And we talk about that all the time because we're able to understand each other's life changes, where they're at, and want to go with them along with those changes.
Yeah, absolutely. In long-term friendships, you have to expect them to evolve. They don't freeze in time. If so,
you'd like them to sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, I like 30 years ago. No.
Right.
But unfortunately, they don't. They evolve. No, it's a good thing for them to evolve, because what this does is it provides you both the opportunity to have just more shared experiences together. You're going to have more great memories and maybe some not so great memories as well.
Yep.
And that's okay, because when you're talking as you want your friendships to grow and evolve and become long-term friendships, you have to have the good and the bad and the ugly all together.
Yep.
So that, it keeps everything relatable. You share those experiences together. So you don't want your friendships to freeze. You want them to evolve.
And they kind of have to, because
they absolutely have.
You have to evolve as
right.
the person. Because once you stop growing, you stop learning.
Yes.
So there's that.
And we become different versions of ourselves,
absolutely.
right? As we learn and as we grow.
As we experience life in different ways.
Yes. Like the 30-year version of us was way different than the 32, almost 33-year version of us that we're at now, right?
We're still super fun.
We think. I mean, 100% we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, long-term friendships, longevity, it comes from growing together, taking on those challenges, evolving together. It doesn't come from staying the same all the time. You cannot stay the same in your friendships. Look at the way the world is evolving.
Yeah.
30 years ago, we text? We literally landlined it.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah. Probably a rotary phone.
That's right. Quite possibly.
Sorry for those who don't know.
Maybe a push button. We're not sure. But that's just a perfect example of, outside of the experiences you have in your friendship, all of these outside forces are going to force you to change as well. It forces the way you communicate, right? We text now. We don't, well, we still call,
Talk, right.
right? But a lot of people don't. So all of these things that are changing in the world are also going to follow you along in your friendship and affect it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think longevity again comes with being able to change and, not staying the same.
And not being afraid.
Yeah. It's just not possible. And don't fear change. It's a good thing, especially if that friendship was meant to be
right,
a long-term
and that's
friendship.
your decision again. That is your decision if that's what you want to do, because if some person changes dramatically and it goes against maybe everything you believe in morally, your moral compass is tested, well, that's something you need to be insightful about.
Yeah.
Whole different story there.
Yeah. And so I mean, guaranteed we do not agree on everything. A lot of things we do not agree on. But sometimes when you adapt, that just turns it into trust, right? I can trust saying my feelings about one thing to her, even though she might not agree with it. But it's still, still brings that trust out. Like, I know I can talk to her about it.
Yeah. And plus, we've been friends a long time. So I think her saying something to me or vice versa, and us saying, well, that's dumb. I mean, that's where we're at. I mean, we can do that. In an early friendship, not so much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
Again, that's about evolving and changing and becoming closer as you go along. The things that you can say to each other now that you couldn't say, 15 years ago.
Yeah. And if things are changing in relationships, like, don't make assumptions about it. Like, you can be curious about it, but have the conversations if it's something that's changing that you really feel like you need to talk about, right? But change is inevitable. Don't fear it, and certainly try to evolve so you can take those friendships and turn them into decades-long friendship like we currently have. And I'm sure so many other people out there have as well.
And it's not always easy. We don't want you to think that because we've come this far, it's been easy.
No.
And that's okay, because you have to decide if it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's
I
worth
hope
it for
she
us.
thinks it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, most days. No, it is. And again, we have our days.
We do.
There are so many things we do not see eye to eye on.
100%.
And, but that is part of who we are. It's who we've grown into.
And it's part of the rules, which is acceptance.
That's right.
I either accept these ridiculous ideas that she has, or I terminate the friendship. And
her crazy opinions that she has that I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
But then sometimes it makes for a very fun conversation.
It really does. It really does. So if this episode resonated with you, if this conversation, if you've been thinking about, like, how am I going to navigate change over, certain periods of times with my friends, ask yourself, am I afraid of changing? Am I afraid of what might change in my friendship if I do change? Like, ask yourself those questions. And is it fear? Don't let fear stop you from changing. You have to be you.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You have to grow into the person that you are meant to be.
Yep.
And hopefully your friendships can grow with that.
I mean, it's like any relationship, like a marriage or
That's
anything.
right.
Hopefully you grow together. And
That's
I think
right.
the key to that, as we always talk about, is communication. And part of being afraid is being afraid to communicate. Even though it's kind of what you have to do every day if you want to evolve these relationships and make them, important.
Don't hold yourself still because you're trying to protect a
You'd
friendship.
be stuck.
Yeah. And that's doing a disservice to yourself. Honestly. I mean, we all want to protect good friends, right?
Yeah.
We all want to protect our friendship, but don't do a disservice to yourself and stay
Just
in the
go
same
along with
spot.
it.
Right. Just because you want to protect that friendship.
Absolutely.
If that friendship is worth having, that person is going to evolve with you.
Yep. Absolutely.
That person is going to evolve with you. Resistance to change, resistance to growing together. Like, it doesn't mean anybody's a bad friend. Sometimes people grow at different paces.
Yep.
Right. And
Absolutely.
so, these are just things that are going to happen in friendships, short term, long term, however it may be.
And don't forget that your experiences change you as well.
Yeah.
So the experience that way I've experienced life, the way she has experienced life, that's a huge topic. Talking about change is experience, because experience will change you.
Every friendship that we've watched, every long-term friendship that we've watched has had to renegotiate itself at some point. At some point as we grow and as things happen in our life. And it's just part of the territory to maintain a long-term friendship and
Absolutely.
really any relationship, right?
Absolutely.
So when both people are willing to do that, even if it doesn't look perfect, like that's a signal, right? That's a signal that's often what allows your friendships to flourish.
Right.
Right. So.
And don't be afraid to have the disagreements.
Oh, we're not.
No.
No.
Even back in the day, we really weren't, because we knew that we were pretty open and honest with each other. And I think that helped us grow. But don't be afraid to disagree. It's okay. Because even though we're not confrontational people, if she does something that upsets me or vice versa, eventually it's going to come out.
Yeah, right.
Like that birthday thing. I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, she's still mad about that. It's fine. That eventually came up. But yeah. And if you're comfortable, let us know in the comments. Have you ever held your back in a friendship because you thought like a certain amount of change might, ruin it, and you just wanted to keep it the same, so you kind of held back a little bit without changing? We would love if you would engage in the comments with us. Let us know. Or are you navigating some change in a long-term friendship that you currently have?
Right. That happens a lot.
That does happen a lot, but know that it's normal.
Yep.
And
don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of change. It's always very, very valuable. So I think that's it for today.
Yep.
Let us know your thoughts, and
bye.
Peace.